So, hi everyone. If you could mute yourself out, that would be lovely. But feel free to interject, particularly if it's quite a pertinent question. We're all friends. So tonight, a bit of an interesting call tonight. And once I decided to do this morning, I only decided this morning, I felt really, really comfortable with it. Because I had chatted to Bron the other day and I said that I'm making sure literally nearly every week of the year we do a team training call. And I said, if you've got any ideas, dish them to me. Now, I've got a file this thick with big ideas and lots of things I can share with you. But it suddenly came to me that who on the call tonight is thrilled with where they are in Juice Plus, their level, their income, everything. I'm grateful, but I'm not happy yet. So no one, not one show of hands. That's good. Okay. Who here could honestly say they really want it? They want the world with Juice Plus. Michelle was first. Not checking. Have you got your hand up, Rachel Franchi? 2 hands up. Okay. Right. Next thing is, I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to instantly answer this. Are you teachable? Okay. What happens so much in my 18 years, you'll get someone who's been with us for 2 or 3 years, and they'll get on a call like this because it's fairly basic, but I hope it's of value. And they'll say, oh, God. And it always comes back, I don't need this. I don't need this. I know all this. Hey, guess what? You're not on here for you. You're on here for your team. So just say you do know absolutely everything, which I don't, far from it. I'm on here for my team. Can you imagine how many times I have heard so many things in 18 years? In the early days, we used to have Mark and Steve come over. They would do the same presentation, wellness presentation. We didn't dare mix business with the wellness presentation. Same slides, same everything. I would sit there in awe. I've always been passionate. Beautiful thing was that I could look around the room, see my guests' faces or my new franchisees' faces, the awe and the wonder and the thrill of it all, and that, being inspired. So that is your role. As budding leaders, your role is to set the example, lead from the front. But remember when I started my 90-day game plan and I said, I have been asking of many of you to do what I wasn't prepared to do. So I need to try and be the best franchisee in the team. Hard going with some of you guys on my tail, but I need to do that. And that's what I'm doing. So even myself, I have to be teachable. So what I want to start with tonight is that it's very easy. What I was just saying then is, some people think, oh, ho-hum. We can get what we always call in this industry that I'm too cool for school syndrome. Like, I know all this. And, oh, yeah. And it really does exist. So make sure that doesn't happen with your people. So I want to first start out. We have got so much right in front of our nose. Who has days when they don't feel inspired? Me too. Who has days when they not only don't feel inspired, they actually feel this is too hard? Okay. Bad. Go and stand in the corner, all of you. No, thank you for being honest. It is normal. So what I want you to do when you finish this call, you are going to realize how blessed we are, how many tools we have, and I'm going to give you some things to do when you're feeling like that. You don't have to speak to anyone. You have to speak to yourself, to your heart, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so is everyone familiar with this? The starter guide. Okay, when I have a brand new person start, I give them one of these. You don't have to do that though. You can print one off and gift it to them. You can suggest that they go immediately to their virtual office and print one off. But to me, that really is way, way too late. So my first suggestion to you is As soon as you get your pay next month, order a set of these. I think they come in a set of 4. Or start printing some off and staple them together. A lot of you probably don't even realize this is pure gold. We're going to go into that a little bit in a moment. And can I ask, who is really, really, really familiar with this? Without even opening it, could they tell me what's in there? Pretty much. Okay. Right. Our brochure. These days, we only have one brochure. That's all we need, Farm Fresh Nutrition. This is pure gold. Do you know what's in it? Can you almost tell me each page what it's talking about? Okay. What else do we have? We've got our juiceplus.com. Now, I was speaking to a prospect in Darwin today. I actually don't send people to our own Australian Juice Plus website. I urge them not to do anything on it, but I ask them to go to juiceplus.com, the American website. It's much, they're allowed to do more there. There's more videos. So there's another great tool that we've got. The other tool we've got is the virtual office. How many people really don't know how to use the virtual office? Okay. Who has been on our amazing, fantastic website, the Juicy Crew, and gone through the section, how to use the virtual office? Anyone? Okay. There's no finger pointing here. Do you see where I'm coming at? Because if you know the old expression, you have to walk before you can run. You guys are cheating yourself and you're cheating your team. Reason being, these things that I'm talking about are absolute gold. They're gifts. And we will get into that in a minute. The virtual office is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Now, I know some of you will be thinking, but I haven't got time. You haven't got time to get disheartened either. You haven't got time to be sitting there thinking, I don't feel inspired today. God, this is too hard. So by the time we finish tonight, you're going to go and do things when you're feeling like that, which will lift you, which will in turn lift your team. Okay, just mentioned it, our amazing, amazing new website. Even myself, there's no way that I had made the time to go through all those YouTubes and videos and all the things that Tina has put on there. What an amazing effort. It's just fantastic. Okay, Hilary Manners' YouTube channel. There's a few of our training calls on there already. And most of the ones like tonight we're recording, this one will go on there as well. What about all the things that we see on Facebook and we hear on other calls about certain books and things you can do, personal growth? Eric Worre GoPro, whether it's audio or books. If anyone is really desperate, I've got the books, I've got the audios in my cupboard. I'm very happy to gift you one. But when you do get further up the levels and you're earning more money, I really suggest you purchase some starter guides, some brochures. Wouldn't it be nice to give your brand new person 10 of these before it arrives? Wouldn't it be great to be able to give them some order forms? They haven't got a virtual office yet, and just give them a little bit of help along the way. So, and also now obviously don't expect you what you're earning at the moment. No, my screen isn't freezing, but it was last night, so I hope it's not me, someone that was in the chats. Shame. The personal growth stuff, even driving to Nicole's yesterday, I had Eric Worre just for a short time listening to it. So many times you pick fantastic things up. So I want us to all lose our I'm too cool thingy, and I want us to go back to school and do some homework. It's not necessarily doing that is going to make you successful. It's doing the 5 high-paying activities which will make you successful. However, if you've got more knowledge, knowledge is power. So what I want to do tonight is, first of all, we're going to actually look through this. And you'll probably be blown away and you'll realise what I'm saying. I hope you do anyway. So basically, when you open it, first of all, it's a nice glossy gift to give to someone. It looks very professional. And if it's typed, it doesn't matter. First page, it's got, notice I'm looking too, I don't know it off by heart either. It's got the mission-driven model on the first page. I'm just going to tell you, you don't need to see it. Has anyone got one handy? Doesn't matter if you don't, doesn't matter at all. So you've got the mission-driven model, which isn't overly important, but if you actually look at the steps, you might not think it's important. Invite your customers to join our mission of making themselves well. Create a Juice Plus raving fan. Engage your customers. Know your customers. Inspire one simple change. Share your journey and live the mission. Has anyone listened? It's on our Juicy Crew website and it's on the virtual office under webinars or training or something. Has anyone watched the interview, the Hour of Power that Celine and I did? It's actually entitled Customer Care, but it's so much more than that. And it will actually tell you there's 7 steps in the process in the mission-driven model. Customer care is pretty much 4 or 5 of them. Because one of the biggest things you can do in this business, apart from getting customers, is looking after them so well that they become raving fan customers and then join you as a franchisee. So that mission-driven model is really worthwhile looking at. The next page is talking about joining the mission, and it tells you how you're going to do it. You're going to start the fast tracking, the freedom plan, and getting the bonuses. So, and then it's also got prices and installment price and everything. The most important thing on page 3, number 2 point. So the first one is join the mission. Number 2, share your journey. And we're going to talk, we've all got stories. Last night we pretty much heard Tanya's and Michelle's. And look, there's some awesome stories around. But the story that I would say today is different to what I do tomorrow, and it's probably different to what I did 4 years ago and 8 years ago. So what's the password for our new website? Can everyone knows it, don't they? It's duplication. That is the key to success in this business. So if we go to page 3 of the starter guide and we decide we're really going to have our product story down pat, do you think that then when you teach your new franchisees that you start off with, I first heard about Juice Plus from la 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 la. Juice Plus made sense to me because la 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 la. What I noticed when I added Juice Plus to my diet was la la la. So do you see the duplication there? So someone who isn't as confident as you, who hasn't got the knowledge, they can, that's actually a better picture of you, Rachel, if that's helping. Your picture on all sounds. So yeah, so the duplication is very, very good. Whichever way you do your story is fine, but for those people in your team who think they can't do it, like if you were at a barbecue, remember we had the verbiage training call, you've met someone and they've said, oh, what is the product? And you say, well, it's actually Juice Plus. I first heard about Juice Plus from a pharmaceutical rep. Da, 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 da. It made sense to me because, and then you go into your story. But remember, you don't want to bore that person to death. You don't want to tell them too much. You want to actually get them curious and you want to offer them information. So the next page is, it actually is giving you a few ideas of what to say on phone calls. So if you're not terribly confident, why wouldn't you want to read that? Okay, the next page is most frequently asked questions about Juice Plus. So you know how we talk about enabling people versus empowering people? So just say someone said to me, Hilary, I really need to know, I've had a customer ask me why they can't buy it 1 month at a time. So instead of me saying, oh, well, that's ridiculous because, you know, it comes in a 4-month thing because it takes 120 days for full cell turnover, yada, yada, yada. I then should, as a good leader, point you to page 5 of the starter guide and it will give you a bit of an idea. And I'm pretty sure it's still somewhere on the virtual office, frequently asked questions. It may even be on a new website, I can't remember. So you empower people by telling them to go to the starter guide. So all of you, me included, by the end of this week, we need to know this starter guide off by heart. Would you agree? And when you can, order some. Because if you're not absolutely confident and you're not where you want to be in the business, maybe you've missed something. And if you're confident and you're doing well, but your team aren't, like a lot of my team, maybe I need to coach them on going back to the starter guide, seeing what I'm missing in training them. The next thing is filling your memory jogger. Hand on heart, has everyone here done a really comprehensive warm list memory jogger? Has anyone not? Okay. I strongly recommend do that by this time next week. Because believe me, even today, I decided to tidy up my grid. And I went through and I made a list of prospects who I still needed to catch up with. And I made a list of people who, not really prospects, but people I want to invite to an event, because it's a little bit different to being a prospect. And I couldn't believe how many people I'd forgotten. That's the same with your warm list, your memory jogger. If you make that list, and if you look in here, page 7 is massive. It's a whole 3 columns of people like, does anyone know any landscapers? Talk to them. Do you know any retired friends? Do you know any real estate agents? Do you know any police officers? Do you know any Tupperware reps? Do you know any Cub Scout leader? Got a lot, you know, people dealing with children all the time. There's so many people. So you could actually do your memory jogger, go through your teledex, your phone number, your phone, go through your emails, and then when you run out and you're scratching your head, go to here. Okay, and it says here, all your mobile phone contacts and all that sort of thing. Aunts, brother-in-laws, brothers. Even if you don't feel confident contacting that person and talking about Juice Plus, in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, you should still be using that memory jogger, because you will have the confidence under your belt to approach that person. And that person you didn't feel confident speaking to, they might have been made redundant. They might have gone bankrupt. Anything could have happened. They may be diagnosed with something terrible. Okay, so you're starting to really see the value of the starter guide, I hope. Page 8 really explains the grid. The grid. The daily method of operation. It's not something I use, but if you don't feel that you've got a good system, go and have a look at this one on page 9, see if it'll work for you. In fact, I'm going to have a really good look at it tomorrow, because I'm trying to do my schedule, but you know what? Some parts of it are working, many parts aren't. So I've got to be teachable and keep messing around with it till something works for me. Okay. Tips for organisation. So have a good look at that. The next page is inspiring people and how the circle and telling people to drink more water, all that sort of thing. That's not as important as some pages. Jumpstart your journey, and that's really your health journey. The next one, know your customers. It's actually telling you what happens behind the scenes with customer care, and it tells you where you fit in. Do you realise we all think, oh no, I don't do much customer care? Do you realise how much the office is doing? Let me tell you something. Here's a tip for my team. I spoke to one of the fairly new people in the office today in customer care, and she said, oh, we all want to refer new customers to you, Hillary, because you look after them so well. We rarely get any phone calls or complaints from your people. Lovely compliment to me. I'm not saying that to show off. Who wants to get referrals from the company? If you are a qualified business and their postcode comes up near you, not even for that reason, actually lately, our sales have quadrupled. And some people will say, yeah, I went to something and just someone at a barbecue was talking about it. No, I don't know. The person probably wasn't even a franchisee, just raved about the product. So when they ring the office gifts them to someone. So please do your customer care, and we will have a really good training call on that as well. Because everyone thinks they know how to do it, but they don't. And we will really go through it, and we'll go through call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right through to day 280, and we'll really suss that one out. The next thing is engage your customers and raving fans. There's so many things you can invite them to. And it's not just that, it's coffee. It's having coffee or a glass of wine with your support person or me. So many things you can do, so have a look at that. It talks about wellness presentations. One of the biggest things I want to share with you guys, it's actually, I think, gotten worse with social media. Danny Martin, who was so successful, and he's one of my extreme mentors, he taught me many years ago in New Orleans, actually, on a trolley bus, on a tram. I was saying, and some of you may have heard this story, I sent out 100, and I mean by snail mail, paid probably a 50-cent stamp in those days. I sent out 100 invitations to a wellness event. I didn't get anyone there. And he said, never do that again. I mean, I used to go through the phone book and fax physiotherapists, trying to get them to an event. It doesn't work. Here's how you invite someone to an event. You speak to them either face-to-face or on the phone. Not even a text message, guys. It's too easy to say no. I'm not saying don't do it in a text message or social media or whatever, but you imagine I'm talking to you face-to-face. I'm excited. I'm passionate. This fellow, Stevie Coulter, he's amazing. He's coming over. He was one of the first people in Juice Plus. He's passionate. He really knows the product. He's very inspiring. He's very funny. Love you to come. So when they say yes, that's when you can give them the flyer, and when you give it to them or email it, say, here's your ticket. So they're expected to come. They've got a seat. Do you understand the little psychology about it? I'll send you your ticket by email or whatever. It's just a flyer. Some things like that can work. And everyone might think, oh, that's old hat. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works for me. It doesn't always work. I have many people not turn up to events. But I've also done true confession. I haven't been building for events the last few years. I've just been working with my team. Not anymore. Okay. So wellness presentations. We're nearly there. Invite your customers to join the mission. Design your Juice Plus team, dream team. Some of you who I coach fairly regularly, I've actually asked you to do that. So can I suggest, again, by this time next week, write down 6 people, even if you don't think they will, 6 people you would love in your team. And if you'd like to share them with me, let me know, and we might be able to come up with some strategies of how to meet them or how to talk to them. The last little bit is develop your business story. And that's, again, what I was saying before. It's got the little cues. I was excited to share Juice Plus with others because I was attracted to the Juice Plus business because what I see for myself and my family is. So every one of you should have that down pat. If it sounds long and it doesn't sound like you, it's BS, and it just won't do, because it's got to sit with you. Like, I could write your business stories for you. I'm actually good at doing stories, but you would still have to put it into your language and your heart so it comes across beautifully. Understand? So no pressure on the people I'm going to call on later on to say their stories. You're not being criticised or judged. We might give you a mark out of 10. No. The thing is, I'm sure they'll be brilliant, particularly if they come from the heart. But one of the biggest things, me included, is that we can actually make our stories too long. We can make them too convoluted. Why would people want to go and look up Juice Plus afterwards? You bored them to death with the whole story. Make them curious. Wow, it sounds amazing. And then send them somewhere to have a look. So that is your starter guide. How dare we think that we're too cool? So mine is staying out because I'm going to do a little bit more study myself. There are a few pages there I thought really need to check those out a bit better. Okay, so that's Farm Fresh Nutrition. Have you really looked at it lately? Your prospects are looking at this. If you get a new customer and they've only trusted you, do you give them one of these? Do you give them some of the drip feed that I've supplied? Why am I taking and recommending Juice Plus? Doctor, what vitamins should I take? What will Juice Plus do for me? The CACE, C-A-C-E, drip feed for the Centre for Advancement of Cancer Education. It's saying that this biggest institute for cancer education in the world has never, ever endorsed a product, but they endorsed Juice Plus. Do you know what that is? Do you know where to find it? It's in our Dropbox and drip feed stuff. It's one of the most powerful documents we've got. So if you've got anyone with with cancer, you're going to go and print it out and get it to them tomorrow. There's also a couple of other things in there on cancer, about breast cancer, etc. There is so much out there, guys. I think we've got to walk before we run. So almost put your student hat on for the next 2 weeks. I'm not saying for a minute that you need to be the expert. We don't want you to. Because if you're the know-it-all, people think, I couldn't do that. But I want you to have that confidence. One of the biggest things I suggest you do is to go on our fabulous new website. And one day I'm going to do this. All right, say you're having a poopy day. I'm not talking to anyone. I can't bring anyone today. I'm just not inspired, not feeling it. Set yourself a task. 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Go right over the next 6 months, go through every single clip on that website. It will feed you. It will inspire you. It will give you confidence. Do you all understand what I'm saying? There's so much we can do. So then you become bulletproof. So when someone says, you're no good, your product's no good, it's one of those things, you can under your breath smile sweetly and say, get stuff. Because you are bulletproof. It's squeaky clean. So I rang this lady in Darwin today. I must share this story. She's a prospect of mine. She doesn't care about our research. She's using a product. She's very interested in becoming one of us because she has a pain. She needs the money. But she's had very poor health. She found a product. There's no research on it, but it has worked for her. And I applaud that. Absolutely applaud that. So rather than me rattle on about the research and all that, I listened to her story and worked out her pain and her desire and what she needed. So there's always the human part of it. So in here, you need to read up. It will teach you so much. You'll probably even get there and think, oh, I didn't know there was garlic in the capsules. You might not, you might be full quid. There's no way that Hilary Manners can rattle off what's in the fruit, veg and berry capsules. Never been able to. Stevie Coulter can. I've never been able to, and I don't want to. I don't need to, because I want my prospects to see me reading from this. And I don't know if you've ever seen me in action, but I will say, and actually there's several girls on here I've done launches for, and notice I'm reading from this 18 years and I still don't know exactly how to rattle it off. So they feel comfortable and they feel they can do it. So there's so much in this. Very bland. Clinical studies. It's got about 7 or 8 things saying what some of the major research says. It's easy enough. It's actually layman's terms. So even if you just rattle those off to people, talking about the soft chews straight away, if you've got a customer who's just trusted you and they've gone on the product, and yeah, you might do your customer care and do your calls, but they haven't been privy to reading all these results of the children on the Children's Health Study. They're not educated about why they need to stay on Juice Plus. First of all, they've trusted you and they haven't made an informed decision on even ordering, so you're really blessed that they've trusted you. Then it talks about Complete and our charity, and then on the back it's got an order form. So it's easy just to point things out and talk to them. You should have 1, 2 or 3 of those in your bag at all times. So just very quickly, because I'm just conscious of the time, if you do everything that I'm telling you tonight, really get au fait with a lot of the things, not know it off by heart, just know what's there and make sure that anyone new you're bringing in, they know how valuable, how gold that is. Because really, and I'll always go back to it, the 5 high-paying activities. Talk. The more knowledge you have, the more confident you feel talking to people. Would you agree? Okay. Use the grid. Starter Guide tells you how to use the grid. The Memory Jogger gives you people to ring to then go on the grid. Follow up. It actually tells you, gives you a few ideas in the Starter Guide how to follow up. And I'm always happy to coach you on that. And I tell you what, once you've watched a lot of that stuff on our new website, those clips, my God, you'll be so confident you won't know yourself. What's the 5th one? Events. Organise events if you would like to, or go to other people, support them. One of my biggest disappointments, and notice I said disappointments, not failures. One of my biggest disappointments at the moment is that people in the team aren't supporting events. Do you know tonight this 10 training call? This is an event. There's 10 of us on it. We've got nearly 200 in the team. I'm perfectly happy and thrilled that you're all on, and there's good reasons why a lot of people aren't on, but this is an event. So I'd be very surprised, even some of you who've been doing Juice Plus for a while, if you didn't gain anything from tonight, I'd be very surprised. So this is an event. So number 4 is organizing events and really, really building for them. In fact, sometimes I would say to you, make it your number 1 thing. Stop talking to new people. Do some follow-up and invite to events if that's all you do for an entire week. Some franchisees do that, so they have a real focus. Okay, all this week, I'm just going to talk to new people, send out information, not going to do anything else. Next week, unless it happens in life, I'm going to totally focus on follow-up. I'm going to commit to attending events, and I'm going to invite people. And even if you go to that event and there's 1 person there, awesome. Okay, what's the last thing? Customer care. Well, you all know that that's fantastic. So if you've been through the starter guide, if you've done a lot on our new website, if you really, on our website, as I said, it shows you how to use the virtual office. Get more familiar with the virtual office. Even I would say, why don't some of you, if you really feel, when the next time you really feel in a low space, give yourself 2 weeks study leave as though you're doing your TEE, and go back to learning. Not knowing everything, go back to learning and being inspired. Because I guarantee you'll watch 1 thing on that new website, 1 clip, and you will be inspired. Don't listen to Linda Evenden or someone like that. You know, gurus. Okay, so very, very quickly, I've gone way too long. I'm going to quickly ask some of the girls to share their story, but in a duplication style using the starter guide. So I think, and please tell me if I was wrong, Tanya, did I ask you to do products ready? Yeah. Could you unmute yourself, please, love, and tell us your product story?
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Cool. I first heard about Juice Plus from our naturopath. And that was when I was looking into alternative medications for my son. And it just made complete sense to me when she told me about it, because there's no way a 4-year-old would eat that amount of fruit and vegetables. And for me, I was not looking after myself. Since being on the product, I have noticed an increase in energy. We've got better moods. I'm happy, he's happy. And we're just feeling fabulous.
That was brilliant. Would you all agree? That was brilliant. You know why? Because that was just exactly how it is. We all know Tanya. We sort of know her story. I just think that was amazing. That was amazing. The whole thing is, someone has said, oh, what is Juice Plus? You know, what's this Juice Plus? She's told that story. Then she can choose the response she gets. Particularly, she says that she's animated and excited, and because someone real has asked her, she's in there. She's in there with the chance. Okay, Rachel, I think I asked you to do product as well. Thanks, Tanya. That was lovely. It was really good. No pressure, Rach.
That's all right. Can you actually hear me okay? Because I've got a really bad connection tonight.
No, we can.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I first heard about Juice Plus from my friend who was promoting the Transform 30 program. This program helps to detox the body and assist with boosting your immune system and gain better health. Juice Plus made sense to me because I was in need of regaining my health after 8 years of catching every contagious illness going around. And I needed more nutrition in my daily diet. So since I've added Juice Plus to my diet, I've regained my energy, I've felt happier than ever, and I've benefited in so many other ways with other health ailments as well.
That was brilliant too. You know what I love about that? Rachel, I've heard her in presentations, fantastic events, doing amazing, her story. It's very powerful. It's very inspiring, but particularly for other people who've had ill health. You got it all in one, Rach, without really doing it. I mean, obviously, the way you tell it in an event, I would strongly suggest. I'm trying to teach you here a duplication system for your people who don't have your story or confidence. And also, it's just a quick one, so you're not taking over. When you're at an event and asked to stand up and do your story, yeah, it's a little bit more. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we've had 2 product stories directly from the starter guide. Okay. Now, the other thing is too, do you realise why people like Linda Evenden, Kira and Adam, all those people, why they're so successful? Because they've duplicated well. Not because they've got better systems, same product, same price, same resources, everything. They've duplicated well. They've found beautiful people like you who are going to do it properly. Just teach people the simple and easy way. So just before we close, I'm going to ask Michelle to actually share her business story using the guidelines from the starter guide.
Hello.
Hello, love.
Hi. Wow, everybody else has sounded so professional. Mine does not going to sound like that at all. But anyway,
we all will decide that.
So I decided that I wanted to join the Juice Plus business because I'd been using the product and it worked so well for me and my family. We saw some really dramatic changes in our life, and I felt like I had a bit of a need to tell other mums about it. The reason why I wanted to do Juice Plus as a business was because we needed to make some financial changes to our lives, and I knew that this was something that I could do, that I loved doing, and I could earn money as well. And hopefully what I'm going to get out of this for our lives as a family is that it's going to help pay for our son's high school education. He's going to be starting high school in 2018, and obviously we have extra fees to pay for with that happening. And also ideally, if I can earn enough of an income to help contribute to the family, my husband can get out of the job that he hates and start doing something that he also loves. So that's my story.
That was heart. That was beautiful. That was just lovely. Thank you, ladies, every one of you. Can I just say one thing there, Michelle?
Yeah.
Because I know you would actually mean this if you said it. You actually said, hopefully, so what I want you to coach yourself on is to say, I know in my heart that this business is going to allow me to such and such.
Yeah.
Rather than hopefully. And I know I'm not criticising there. I just heard it and I thought, no, I know Michelle. She absolutely believes this. It's in her heart. So you don't want other people to doubt you or doubt themselves. So don't doubt yourself. Guys, that was fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to close now. Can I just ask a bit of a consensus? Do most people do things? Next Tuesday is Melbourne Cup Day. Do most people do things during the day? They've had a few drinky poos and they'd rather not have a team call?
Yeah, it's a big day for me. I would opt out of it if I could help.
Okay. We might have a lay day. Because I think it would be very nice for me to probably have a Tuesday night off for a change as well. Not that we've been doing them long, but normally we will do it. So Jen said yes, okay, we will. All right, well, I'm going to wrap that up now. Thank you so much for joining. What I would like you to do, if you could put on Facebook and or Boxer, just say, guys, we need to support these Tuesday, this is if you feel this way, Tuesday team training Zooms. They're really powerful, they're really helpful. We want everyone on the call. Let's do this. So don't feel you have to, but if you have a minute and if you feel that way, I would really appreciate it because people don't know what they don't know. All right, my loves, I'm going to stop